Let me read you from an editorial in the Hartford Courant. Connecticut's continuing poor economic performance, general disdain for what are perceived as shenanigans at the Capitol in Hartford, and unhappiness among gun rights advocates at strong gun control laws after the Sandy Hook massacre are said to have revved up District 53 voters. And what they're referring to is the fact that a Republican candidate for the Connecticut State Legislature's 53rd District, Sam Belsito, which is about 70 miles northeast of Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, won an election last Tuesday, marking the first time that seat has gone to a Republican since Richard Nixon was president. And the margin, 58.5% to 41.5%, which in politics is a landslide. Let's say hello to the victorious Sam Belsito. And Sam, thank you for coming on. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you, Steve, for having me.
My pleasure. Congratulations to you. So do you agree with the Hartford Courant? And what do you think was the determining factor here?
The determining factor was not myself alone. It was really the citizens, voters that are out there. I visited over 800 doors, and they are mad. They are really mad at what's going on in our government.
And mad mostly about what? What did you find?
They're mad that, first of all, with Second Amendment people are mad. But more importantly, well, not as more importantly, but just as important are the people who are mad at the way the government is being run, from the governor right on down to the state legislatures that have put the people last in our state, and that's just what they did.
I mean, you go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you know, our state is in trouble. We have been voted the #1 worst-run state in the nation. We have everything going against us. We have gun manufacturers who are now being enticed to leave by the Texas governor. From North Carolina, they're coming. They're taking our manufacturing right out of here because the governor and the Democrats do not want any type of arms being manufactured in our state, even though they've been here for hundreds of years. So we have a couple of problems here that are just going on, and the people are not being heard. And they rammed everything through the state legislature. There was no bipartisanship. There was not anything. And now it's coming home to roost. It really is. I mean, you've heard this 1,000 times before. You can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And I think we've gotten to that stage right now in Connecticut. And we are really, the citizens are mad.
Well, I got to tell you, Sam, you know, viewing this, your political situation from a small distance, because I live in New Jersey, work in New York, and I've had my radio show, which was on in your state in the past. The fact of the matter is, I think that your state has become, you know, maybe second to California as one of the most liberal states, if not the most liberal state in the nation in recent years since your new governor has come into power. Policy after policy, law after law, and restriction after restriction. I keep hearing about it, and it seems like it's just nonstop.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, we had Sandy Hook, and within a matter of days, everybody wanted to put security guards in our school, which is fine. And they said, well, we should hire ex-state police or ex-police officers. And when they turn around and try to find them, they've all left the state because they tax you on every bit of income that you earn, whether it be retirement income or whatever, you get taxed on it. And so they've all left our state. They've gone to other states that don't have the income tax that we have. And it was like almost a joke that we were going to hire these people, and they're not around. I mean, there are a few left, but the majority of them have left. And every single thing that he's done to our state in the last couple of years has hurt us right down the line. We had the largest tax increase last year in the history of the state. And this year, we're getting killed again. All kinds of fees are going up. Everything is going up. And on top of that, they're raising the tax on our gas from 3 to 6 cents a gallon on July 1st. And we have probably the highest gas rate in the country.
Yeah, you guys come to New Jersey or Manhattan or wherever to not Manhattan necessarily, but you go out of state to get your gas a lot of
Yeah,
times.
you can drive to Massachusetts
Yeah.
and save 15, 20, 25 cents a gallon. And here he is, he's driving up the price of it. That means every truck that's coming through the state is not going to stop in the state because our gas prices are so high.
Right, you're talking about you're talking about the governor, of course, Governor Malloy.
Yes, the governor.
Yeah.
But of course, this was all sanctioned by the state legislature, and now it's time to change. I said that when I was running, that I'm going to be the 53rd Republican from the 53rd district, and this is an omen, and it really is an omen, because in the fall of 2014, we're going to take back the state of Connecticut for the citizens of the state. And like you were saying, there's so many things. We're last, or we're second to last, or we're number 2 in the whole country for electrical power fees. Number 2, and Hawaii is number 1.
Wow.
But we are number 2, and we have they deregulated utilities a few years ago, and it caused our price to more than double. And now he was going to sell 800,000 subscriptions, not subscriptions, but users of electricity that were on CL&P's, Connecticut Light and Power's source, and he was going to sell that for $800 million and put it in the general fund and spend it. He had it already spent, and we didn't even have a chance to say whether we wanted to opt out or not.
All right. Well, you said that I forget your exact word, but you think that this is going to be just the start. Tell me tell me why you think that this district, the 53rd, which hasn't gone Republican since Nixon was president, elected you.
They elected me because first of all, we had a really good campaign strategy. We set out and we said we would not say one disparaging word about our competitor, and we did not. The other thing is that we did a lot of doors. Not that my competitor did not. But when we went to the doors, almost every single door we went to, and I went to over 800 myself, they were mad. The citizens were mad at what was going on. They couldn't take what was going on in the state legislature because they're taxing us to death. Every single time we turn around, there's a new tax. And they couldn't take care, they couldn't go along with the Second Amendment, and they were mad with that. And every time I spoke to them, they were thanking me, and I met the nicest people out there, but they are really, really mad. They're mad because they're not getting a chance to speak out, and the government is not doing what they're saying.
We're talking to Sam Belsito. He is the new state rep from Connecticut's 53rd district here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Republican, first Republican in about 40 years. And talk about the Second Amendment. Now, look, everybody's hearts bleed and break for those parents. I have a 13-year-old son. I mean, you just can't imagine. But to see the state, in my view, react as radically as it did, in my view, a big overreaction, it's just so frightening that something, one event could influence policy in that manner. It goes back to the core of Barack Obama's philosophy, which has never let a tragedy go to waste. Now, it hasn't been able to affect the national level yet, or the national, the Congress and the Senate. They refuse to take up the bill and pass the bill, but the fallacy is out there, Sam, in the media and elsewhere, who they would have you believe that everybody wants what Connecticut has, that, a pro-gun candidate, a pro-Second Amendment candidate, a pro-NRA candidate will never be able to win. And obviously, you've proved them all wrong.
Exactly. We had, right after that happened, listen, I'm Italian. I'm a very emotional person.
My son is half Italian, so it's okay.
Right. So we're emotional people, and I'm very emotional. And the decision that they made in the legislature was a very emotional decision. It was not a good decision, because emotional decisions are not good decisions, and that's what they did. Everybody here in this state was hurt. Their hearts were bleeding for these kids, and you could tell that. But they just took away our Second Amendment rights. They made it even more difficult to be able to have a gun in this state or be licensed. And all of these people all have a license. They have their weapons, guns are registered. When they purchased them, the state took the numbers. And they just went overboard on that because it was an emotional thing. And that all happened after President Obama came here to Sandy Hook to look around. And in my opinion, I think he brought this legislation with him. And it was given to them, and they said, this is what you're going to pass. And that's what they did.
Yeah, no, very well said. Listen, Sam, I congratulate you. I congratulate you for having the fortitude to speak out against the status quo and what seems popular, and you know, it could have gone another way if the people weren't on your side, and people could have said, hey, see, I told you so. Oh, that's Sam, man. He was wrong. How dare he say that after Sandy Hook? But no, we can't let the media drive who we are, and they'll tell you that people like you and I are nuts, but it's them that are out of the mainstream. People want their Second Amendment rights.
Yes, they really, really did. And so the driving force, yeah, maybe it was me. I might have been the vehicle, but it was the individual citizen voters who said, we have had enough, and we are going to change this state, and we really have to change it.
Well, listen, I'm very proud to have talked to you, and good job. And